the Thagachari project. I
Yes.
have started this project in 2017 with the intent to uh, practice gratitude. As you know, and many of us know, gratitude has a very big role in our personal growth, not only for the person who is receiving, right? It's always nice to hear about how you have impacted other people, but it is also good for the person who is expressing gratitude in their own personal growth. And I know, in the beginning of our show today, we spoke about how, Mathanmi himself was impacted with how we grew up. And we all do that. We all carry that. We have a lot of anger in ourselves. We have a lot of pain. We have a lot of things which we carry, which other people may not understand. Um, and to come out of that, right? And also, you mentioned about um, existing versus living, right? We want to live, we don't want to just exist, right? So, to be in that space, gratitude plays a very important role, which in our society, in our community, we don't see much. And I really want everybody to um, spread the word of love and gratitude so that our society will be elevated. So that was the intent on how we started this project. And I want to invite you to identify somebody in your personal space and also at the level of Manipur and share your gratitude in this segment.
Uh, I think sharing gratitude is when the first conversation started for this show about gratitude. I have been thinking actually that who should I give gratitude to? And the list has just been going on and on and on. And then I was like, can there be someone who can just who I can just name or something? Right? But I think I will be very honest also that I have so many people who I have to be grateful today, right? And to be where I am right now, because without that, starting from my grandma to my father and to my mother again, my mother playing that part. I didn't tell you this, but we are four boys, right? My family also, and I'm the youngest, and we are only boys. So I can imagine the level of the thing, how she must have raised us up, right? And then us turning out very decent now. So I think without her, it wouldn't have been possible because my father was most of the time not at home. So from my grandma to my father to my uh, mother to my siblings, I think every one of them has been there for me day in day out, and this has allowed me where I am in every decision that I take. So, right, and then coming back again to the professional spaces also. Again, this also I don't have just someone, right? But today, uh, this is I want to be. I am very grateful to each and everyone who has played a huge role in my life, who has helped me in every decision and who has helped me in every stages of my life. And, but today, I just wanted to be. I want to be grateful to someone who I have met very recently. I think it was last year. Right? So he runs an organization called CCI in Surachandpur. Right? His name is Paujagin. And that was by chance I went to Surachandpur just because TFIX had again came to Manipur to search for entrepreneurs, right? And then he was working with children with special needs, right? And this is one area which I have never been comfortable with, right? Because I was not exposed to it, and then I was uh, I was never in a space where I have had the interaction or engagement, right? And that day I went to Churachandpur, and he runs a beautiful center. Uh, he named it after his son, right? So they have this, it's an organization called CCI, and his name is Paul Jakim, and then they have this special needs school that is going on. So when I went there, the whole idea of education, right? The whole idea of inclusion, what how I am looking at inclusive TS, right? Not just about diversity of us people, but how much are we inclusive about the people around us, right? And just recognizing that, right? Because many a times I was not recognizing that, right? But just recognizing that, and acknowledging that
Right.
there needs to be a space for inclusion. So after meeting him, I the lens and the perspective of how I look in the school, right, and then what I look in the place where I'm working, that changes very differently. And so I very grateful that I met him, and I am able to see the work that he's doing. It's such a big heart, right? So again is one thing that I wanted to. I don't know whether he's watching or not. If he's not watching, I'm gonna check him so that he watch it. So uh, so he named it after his son, the place, the special needs school that is running there, right? So that is there. And then one thing which I've also realized, that allowed me to realize, was that till my master's, till my graduation, I was all this post-traumatic stress disorder, right?
Mm.
Only when I did the masters, I knew about post-traumatic stress
Right.
disorder, right? Because nobody around me had talked about it, discussed it, right? And then suddenly masters, I was in social work, and now I became aware things. People start talking. Then I realized that what I had, and I started being mindful, right?
Mm.
Only then, after that, I have started being very mindful, and then how I speak, what I speak, the choice of word that I speak, I think that has a lot impacted. So when I come back to the school after meeting Pauli, I'm looking at children again, like what must they be undergoing? So
Mm.
like just kids. So uh, this lens of this thing, the whole experience with special need, the uh, students in the school, I think that brought me a different experience. So I am very grateful to him. So I want to give my gratitude to him also. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing about your mother. I know you mentioned about your grandmother and your father, but thank you again for bringing back about your mother. And I love that you have a big list. The idea of us talking about this is not so much to um, it's to instill the idea of gratitude. So it doesn't mean that just because you mention about your mom and about Paujagin, it doesn't mean that you don't appreciate others. It just means that for the purpose of today's call and today's session, we are identifying them, but we as a human can continue the practice of gratitude, right? What if we have a practice of gratitude every day, right? And thank somebody. It would
Yeah.
definitely make their day, and it would also enrich us, right? And also in our society, when we talk about when I went to many school and I asked them, like, who is your role model? I want them to know the names of people in Manipur, right? You know about people like in
Yes.
India, in the world, very easily it comes. But what about Manipur? Maybe they would know about some, um, famous sports stars and things like that. But what about people like you or like Paujagan, whom I'm hearing first time, right? That's why it's very important for me, for everybody to nominate someone at the level of Manipur because he is your inspiration. I want to speak to him, right? I want to know about his initiative. Like it's such, just hearing from you that he has built such a special place for special needs kids, right? So we want to talk about that. We want to talk about how each of us are handling the post-traumatic phase. You spoke about that. Yeah, we don't talk about it, but we have lots. We have children who have
Yes.
gone out, like for protests, and who are like struggling because they got so scared of the sound of that um, mm, tear gas bomb, and all that chaotic scenario, or like in a combing operation, or like when you were caught by the police, how you were hangoi daw na chung o hai bagi,
Mm.
they maklak that can be bagi. Lot of things are there
Mm.
which we are not talking about,
Yes.
but that doesn't mean it's not there, right? So um, it's the start of the conversation. So thank you for your nomination. Thank you for sharing that words because these are the words which is going to help us rise, right?
Yeah.
Using your word. We do have to recognize also, right? Like who is doing what. because every effort um, is important for our society. And I think we have come a long way, and I'm so happy now, at least, to see that when I grew up, like you said, there used to be a lot of curfew, there used to be a lot of bun, there was no electricity, and we see progress, but we can still do more. So thank you.